Hey guys, today is Thursday, October 29th, 2020, and right now is 11:27 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's take a look at the market right now. The market is actually open, right? The E-mini S&P E-mini futures. For you guys haven't watched my channel, I talk about I look at I don't really look at the index, the ETF. I actually look at the S&P E-mini futures because this thing trades actually 24/7. I mean 23/6, okay? And the reason I look at this one is because the money never sleeps, right? The market is actually opens all the time. It just the average person only trades, 8 hours a day from 9:30 to 4, not even 8 hours, but the actual market is actually open all the time. And so right now the market is actually still in session. And you can see that we have a very bad development here, okay? You can see that today, until at the close of today's market at around 2 o'clock, actually it closed around 3 o'clock here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So you can see that the market closed at 4, right? 4 p.m. today, and that's where it closed. You can see that's 3:45. Everyone thought the market had bounced. It was a great day. A lot of leading stocks are bouncing. People thought this is double bottom here. Look at that. So if you're trading, you probably saw this double bottom. Market's bouncing. Is this the bottom? Well, we don't know, right? Right now, the market has been dropping for many days since October 13th, almost half a month. And today it looks like this one has a kind of double bottom, right? We bounced today. We bounced really hard. A lot of leading stock in the market is actually making all-time highs, especially a lot of Chinese stocks, right? For example, NIO is making all-time high, huge move today. This is obviously leading stock. XPV and all that stuff, they have jumped quite significantly today. The jump average of 10%. So a lot of Chinese technology stocks have jumped very hard today, and they are the market leading indicator because China right now is the strongest economy in the world. That is a fact because they have beaten COVID, right? The economy, COVID has been dead in China since May. You can walk around freely, you can enjoy your life, you can do anything in China because there's no COVID anymore, right? So the economy is back pretty much in 90% capacity, and the cars are selling off. They're selling cars. Everything's moving, right? So if you don't have exposure, if you have a company that has exposure in China right now, for example, Tesla, right, has a huge China factory, or maybe some other brands like luxury brands, you have exposure in China, that means a portion of your business, or sometimes a majority portion of business, is going to be fine, and that is a good thing. So if you have exposure to China right now, a company has exposure to China, that's a bullish sign to the company. Okay, so regardless of this, so today, a lot of market leading stocks have jumped to new all-time high, but the question is, not all of us are holding these kind of market leading stocks, right? A lot of stock has gone down. For example, Peloton. Peloton has been a market leading stock, right? And this one is actually been going downwards. It has actually established a lower low and lower high, and that is not a very good sign right now, right? So let's go back to the index today. So as I said, it looks like we had a double bottom, right? We came up really hard today. We had a really quick rally back to the 11,000 in Nasdaq, and that looks like could continue. But now we have gotten our answer by 11:32 p.m. You can see the market completely sold off, right? Again, think about this. Right now, the future have sold off completely back to where it started today. before the rally, before the all-day rally, basically wiping out all the gains that we made this entire day. And what that means is that, think about it, most market participants are actually not trading during this hour, right? The future market is only traded by institutions. So most participants in this market, most retail investors, even a lot of large funds, they don't really trade outside of regular trading hours. What happens is right now they are trapped. So if you have bought, after in the afternoon today, or any time during the day, if you have bought any time during the day, on average, right now you have made no money, or you have been losing money. You're losing money now. So a lot of people have been trapped in this fake breakout or this fake bounce. This is a classic dead cat bounce, in my opinion. This is a dead cat bounce. This is a classic example of that right now. And you can see that if tomorrow we open lower, we maintain this level, I expect the market is going to continue to go down. And that is just basically trapping a lot of buyers. And all these buyers who bought today are going to become sellers, because a lot of people are going to cut their losses, right? Like when the market closed today, they're pretty happy. Everyone's making money if they have bought in any of the time today. But as soon as the market opens tomorrow, everyone's losing money. So think about it. Everyone's losing money. Then what's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to cut their losses, and that's going to create additional selling pressure to the market. That's how the market is going to roll over and go down even further. Okay, and that is a huge risk tomorrow. So I think tomorrow the market is going to drop even harder, or drop even further. I don't know how hard it's going to be, but tomorrow is not going to be a day I will be looking forward to if I'm actually long the market. The good thing is that, for me, I've been shorting the market, so I'm okay, right? Tomorrow is actually quite interesting day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. But for people who have bought in today, thought this is bottom, not a good sign right now. Like right now, it doesn't look very good for these guys, for people who bought during the rally today. Okay, and that is my analysis over the index. So let's take a look at the cryptocurrency side. As I mentioned, cryptocurrency is a let me just get rid of the drawing. So Bitcoin is pushing towards a close to that all-time high, not all-time high, but a high from 2019, and you can see that it tried to break above it. It's getting, I think it might be able to break through it, maybe not, but regardless, if the general broader market sentiment, I'm talking about the stock market, is going to drag this thing down. I mean, this thing could consolidate here and eventually roll over and making a huge move to the downside. And I don't know when that's going to happen. Bitcoin is still very strong. I do not recommend shorting the Bitcoin with such a strength right now. So I basically closed my short position at the beginning of today for Bitcoin. I didn't really keep it. I just basically made that move here. I'm not a big fan of going against the major trend. You can see this trend is obviously up, and I definitely don't recommend going against this kind of strong trend. So Bitcoin could continue to go up, could even break out, despite the general market weakness, but it's not something I'm willing to buy right now, right? Because I'm not willing to add to my position. I still have a long-term Bitcoin long position, but I'm not willing to add to that position at the moment, especially at this level. Talking about Ethereum, very different story here. Ethereum have not been able to make even break the previous high, right? Ethereum made a new high. It have broken its high of June 2019, and the thing is, it made this particular high here, and it basically got immediately rejected. So there's a lot of selling pressures at this level, right? And right now we're not even close to getting to that level, right? You can see that we're not even close to making a higher high and higher low. We are making higher highs, higher lows here, but it's very different from Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is making higher high and higher low in a much smaller time frame. But for Ethereum, we're just drifting downwards, despite the Bitcoin is making higher price levels. So that is a very bad sign for Ethereum. I've been talking about in my last video, and that just tells me Ethereum is very weak at the moment. And another thing I want to take you guys into attention is that the total locked ETH here. So we can take a look at the DeFi pulse here. You can see that there are a lot of ETH being locked, Ethereum being locked into these smart contracts right now. And there are a lot of being locked into Curve Finance, Compound, lending platform, all that stuff. About 1.99 billion, 1.1 billion, maybe like $4 billion that's being locked into a lending platform. Just by looking at this, this means that about $4 billion Ethereum, or actually this is not just Ethereum, it's cryptocurrency in general, being locked into a lending platform, and they're being used as a way to gain leverage, right? So very likely all these tokens are actually being used to borrow USDT, or like a stable coin, a form of stable coin, and then they use that stable coin to initiate more long positions, maybe especially in Bitcoin or Ethereum. So that means this overall market right now is very high in leverage. Okay, so you can see the total value locked in USD and DeFi, it just grew, four times since August. But the thing is, if you look at Ethereum since August, well, since August 31st or September 1st, has barely moved, right? The price has been flat, but the amount of dollar that's locked into the DeFi system has grown threefold, despite the price has gone flat. So I'm wondering where that money went, right? The money probably went to buying Bitcoin, or that money probably went to buying these kind of altcoins, or these kind of DeFi coins, right? And what happened was a lot of DeFi coins recently have just gone down significantly, right? For example, YFI, for example, Ape token, or all these ones have gone down, have corrected quite a lot, like SushiSwap, Uniswap, right? All these tokens have gone down a lot. And so I suspect, but despite that, the total value locked is still stable. So I suspect there's a lot of leverage right now in the Bitcoin long positions. That's just based on my logical deduction. And that is a danger sign, right? Because if the price start reversing, we have a cascading effect. We have actually a systematic kind of risk here, right? Because there's so much money being locked into a long leverage position. So when we have a correction coming in, we're going to have a hard correction in these asset prices. And that is not something you want to, that is something that you should definitely consider a potential very real risk in your long position if you're allowing these kind of instruments. And so right now I still think for Ethereum it's showing a lot of weakness despite the Bitcoins being very strong, and that just shows me that there is potential downside. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. See you next time.